Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome to a review of the biggest summer 2021 LEGO Harry Potter set number 76389, Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets. This set includes 1,176 pieces and retails for $129.99 when it came out back on June 1st of 2021. Now, I've been really excited to take a look at the new Hogwarts building system. Compared to what we saw back in 2018 through 2020, I'm not really too much of a fan of it, especially some of the downsizing qualities, but we'll see what my thoughts are once I actually build up this set. Really excited to finally have the Chamber of Secrets represented again in LEGO form since 2002, and I think out of all of the sets releasing this summer, this set has to have the best minifigure selection, even though there are a few things that I do want to nitpick about when we actually look at them. So getting right into this and looking at the box art, we have the same box art that we see for the other sets releasing at the time, Harry Potter and Wizarding World LEGO, 20th anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter, your main characters at the side, and then main picture front and center, also just showing off some of the previous things that we saw and maybe something that we might even see again in the future from LEGO Harry Potter. From the very back of the box, you get a look at the interior of the set, as well as how all of these can connect and interchange with one another when you get some of the other sets from the wave, and you get 6 of the collectible wizard cards. Looking at the box contents, you get a total of 9 numbered bags in this set. Most notably, bag number 4 has 2 bags included. You also get 2 loose plate pieces for the foundation, and the stickers and instructions are bundled nicely in this bag. First, taking a look at this sticker sheet, you can see that we get the Hogwarts banner. Very nice to see it in more of like a blacker color going on there. We also have some various portraits of Lockhart, which I really love seeing. You have the cereals down there, a little bit of astronomy stuff, and also the front of Tom Riddle's diary, and also possibly Year of the Yeti, one of Gilderoy Lockhart's books. Really cool to see that. And also the Eyes of Slytherin from the Chamber of Secrets. Lots of really cool references there. As for the instructions, we get more of a booklet here, which I do appreciate LEGO doing. We mimic the front of the box with your QR code at the bottom. Very back features the win guide. We get the piece count for a total of 2 pages, leading to an additional 2 pages. Then we get another view of our checklist for the wizard cards, as well as an advertisement for the Hogwarts expansions included in this current wave of LEGO Harry Potter. I also did want to point out one of the downsides to this set, and to possibly most of the other 20th anniversary LEGO Harry Potter sets, is the fact that we get these random chocolate frog cards, and by random I mean you can possibly get the same character more than once, where we have them distributed in individual bags. I don't know why LEGO decided to do that. Unlike video, it just doesn't really make sense to me, but there's only 16 to collect, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm really crossing my fingers that I get them all on the first go. If not, I'll have to order some of them off Bricklink. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for the box content, so let's build up this set, take a look at our minifigures and the final overall model. Getting right into our minifigure selection, we have Harry Potter. Now, this version of Harry is exclusive to the set only due to the torso print, which we also see for Ron Weasley in the Fluffy Encounter set. When it comes to his accessories, we get the wand in dark brown, and then we get the second ever appearance of the Sword of Godric Gryffindor. Really amazing to get that mold again in this set. Works very well along with the rest of the scene. Now for the facial expression, it is the same exact one that we have been seeing since 2018, where you get the smile from the front, and you can turn it right around to see a more scared look from the back, and we have the hairpiece from 2018 as well. So yeah, that's all for Harry Potter. For our next minifigure, we have Colin Creevey for the very first time in LEGO form with his giant camera. Really cool that we get an actual build for this. Even love the shine to that dish piece right there, works very well for the accessory. For his other accessory, we get a wand. The torso print is the same one that we have been seeing through some of the other sets that released around this time, though the facial expression is new and exclusive to his character, which I appreciate them doing that considering most of the other student minifigures that we have coming in this set use the common boy or girl facial expression that we've been seeing forever. So for the very front, we get a very nice smile, and you can take off the hairpiece and spin it right around to see a more sad look on the very back of his face. And we also get the Han Solo hairpiece recolored in that nougaty color, which is also quite nice to get. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for Colin Creevey. For our next minifigure, we have the second year 2 appearance of Ginny Weasley since 2020. I do like that they are keeping the hairpiece from back in 2010. That's probably my favorite part of this figure. Robes are the same exact robes that we just saw for Colin Creevey, though the facial expression is the same one that we saw in Diagon Alley, just the common girl facial expression with a smile from the front, and you can turn that right around to see a unhappy, sad look on the very back, which, you know, I would have liked to see them do something different here, but it's fine, it gets the job done. Another first appearance in this set is Justin Finch-Fletchley, who I'm really surprised and happy that LEGO decided to throw in this set. Not only do we get the Hufflepuff robes that match the Gryffindor, Slytherin, and even somewhat the Ravenclaw robes, which I'll talk more about when we get to Luna next, but I feel this character fits this scene very well, especially for the dueling club, or you can just pretend to have him get petrified. We have quite a few students and characters in this set who will get petrified by the Basilisk, which I really love that LEGO decided to include him, even though he does have that boy facial expression with the smile from the front. And then the unhappy look from the back, which, you know, again, I'm happy that they didn't do this with Colin Creevey, but, you know, here's just a problem that they have to fix. They gotta do new facial expressions for these characters, even though it's not really necessary. It would be really nice to see, though I'm betting this is probably the only time that we're ever going to see this character in LEGO form, unless they do one for Order of the Phoenix. I'm not sure, maybe that would work, who knows, we'll have to wait and see. And then finally, we have Luna Lovegood from year 1. Apparently, LEGO decided to throw her in this set. The one thing that makes this character most notably Luna has to be the hairpiece, which is a reuse from the Series 1 CMF. Really like getting a duplicate of that piece. There's a quick look at that, and I will remove it quickly so you can see the other facial expression and also the back printing on the torso, kind of similar to some of the other characters. You just get the darker blue instead of the reds. It's the same common girl facial expression, happy face on the front, unhappy face from the back, that we even just got for Ginny in this set. I don't know why they reused the same facial expression twice. It kind of doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, again, this is a character that I was not really expecting to see in here because we don't really hear about Luna until year 5, so really this character is generally just nice for the pieces. And I did also want to point out that we have a little raven on the corner of the robes compared to everybody else who seems to have their Hogwarts crest. That's one thing that I did want to point out as something weird, that I just wish that they made that a blue and gray crest, and that's really all that I would fix other than the facial expression, which, you know, honestly isn't a problem for me anyways. Probably one of my favorite minifigures included in this set has to be this new version of the Richard Harris Dumbledore. Not only do we get new robes, but we follow the 2020 variant from the CMF by adding that beard and also the hairpiece in white, which I think works very well, a lot better than the gray that we saw back in early 2018. Now, I also really love the shine to the outfit right there on the skirt piece and also the torso. I'll remove the beard to take a better look at that in a minute. But here's just a quick look all around at the character. And you can also take off the hairpiece to look at the back printing on him and also the other facial expression, which I'm not sure if that's the same one that we saw in the CMF, but I will be doing a comparison somewhere down the line, so look forward to that. Now, removing the beard, here's a better look at the torso printing if you were interested in that. And again, I'm just going to spin around the head so then you can see the back printing on that. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for Dumbledore. We also get a new variant of Gilderoy Lockhart, this time sporting this more of a nougaty color robe right here, more of like a fleshy nougaty color. I'm not sure if that might be a new color. I'm not 100% sure. It's not the nougat color that we see for the hair, but it's a slightly different nougat color in between. We get the print from the front of the torso, and we also get some back printing. No cape, which is the one thing that I would have really loved to see on this minifigure. Would have made it a lot better if we got a cape, or maybe even like another version of his minifigure other than this one, because I was really hoping for maybe some green robes for a change. That would be something really cool to see. though we see the same exact facial expression from Diagon Alley, his last appearance last year in 2020. You get the very nice smile from the front, and then the facial expression that really works for this scene right here where he looks all flustered and whatnot there, with a little bit of sweat going off on the side of his face. Really love that facial expression. LEGO really knocked it out of the park last year with that one. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for Gilderoy Lockhart. We also add to our ranking of teachers here with the astronomy teacher, Professor Sinistra. Really cool to get her for the very first time in LEGO form. Just like Dumbledore and Voldemort in this set, we get a new printed skirt piece from the front, and we get the print from the front of the torso. Here's a quick look at the back printing. We get these golden arms and brown hands for the flesh tone. You can take a look at the facial expression, which I believe is exclusive to her minifigure, where you get a very nice smile from the front, and you can turn that right around to see one where we get some glasses, which I also really like that because you see her more with the glasses within the first film a little bit when you're looking at the teacher's table at the Great Hall. Now, another thing that I really love about this character is this new recolor of the hair-hat combo that we saw in January for Professor McGonagall, where you get the black and the nougat for the hat. Now, this recolor does also come within a cheaper alternative. I believe it also comes in the minifigure pack, so if you want this piece and don't want to buy the set, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to buy this set, that's another alternative for you. Looking at Tom Marvolo Riddle, also known as Lord Voldemort. This character, when it first leaked, I thought looked really nice, though the one thing that I don't like about it is the fact that we don't get dual molded legs, because you see that we have like this little bit of black printed on the front. You don't see that on the side. That would have been really nice if they printed that on the side, actually. If they weren't going to do dual molding, they should have printed that there, but they didn't, so, you know, that's really the one thing that I don't like about this character. The torso print I think is fine. I think it's a little bit better than the one that we got last year in 2020 within that one book, and we get some back printing if you're interested in that, another one of those hoods from the very back. And then the facial expression is exclusive. It is a different one than the one that we saw within the book version of his character, which even became a reused facial expression, so I do like that they did give us a new facial expression here, where you have an unhappy look from the front. And then we have one as if Harry is stabbing the book and ruining his soul, which I really love that they included that furious facial expression from the back. Probably one of my favorite facial expressions from this year. And now for the last of the regular minifigures, we have Nearly Headless Nick, who's now sporting a more white, glowy look. He does glow in the dark, the entire minifigure except for the hands, which are inside a plain white color. I will post up a picture of what that looks like, and I think it looks really, really cool, and it doesn't take as long for it to actually start glowing in the dark compared to like the Snape heads that we saw in 2001, 2004, and whatnot, so I think that's another really cool thing that LEGO actually got this down. Even when it comes to like the printing on the character, it looks really, really nice. But other than that, taking a look at the printing, we get the leg printing leading up to the belt piece up to the main torso. We also get some back printing on his character, as well as a new double-sided facial expression, which I think works very well. You have one where his mouth is slightly open. I guess you can just use that for when he's petrified. And you can also move it to the other side to see more of a scared facial expression. Well, actually, that might work a little bit better for what I just said, but really cool facial expressions. Happy that they did make a new one and didn't just give us a repeat from 2018. And we also see the same hairpiece in that glow in the dark color, which I also really love seeing. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for Nearly Headless Nick. And for the last character, our golden 20th anniversary exclusive, we have Voldemort, or Lord Voldemort, in his golden statue form. We get the minifigure stand recolored in gold, which is new for this year. We also see some printing on the skirt piece leading up to the belt piece. Really love seeing the stars also on these 20th anniversary golden characters. Brings me back to 2001. We have the wand yet again, new for this year in gold. And then from the very back, we get the printing 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter. Really awesome to see that from the very back. And then we get the print for the very front of the facial expression, and overall I think this is probably one of the better 20th anniversary golden minifigures. As I've said before, I would have much preferred to see the classic minifigures like we saw for Star Wars back in 2019. Wrapping up my talk on the 20th anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter. In this set we got 6 new 2x2 tiles for the chocolate frog card. I did get 1 duplicate out of the 6 included, that being another Newt Scamander, but I did get the silver variant of Dumbledore. We have Godric Gryffindor, Minerva McGonagall, the US Ministress of Magic, and we also have Rowena Ravenclaw, who definitely does not look like Garrick Ollivander. We also have a few other smaller accessories that we got in this set, one of those being a snake that you can use at the dueling club to chase off Justin Finch-Fletchley. We also have 2 books, which each feature a sticker from the very front. First one being Tom Riddle's Diary, where we get the sticker from the front. It is a little cut off at the bottom, which I don't really particularly like, and we get a blank 1x2 tile inside of that. For our other book, this one is probably the more interesting in my opinion. We have, I believe this is supposed to represent Year with the Yeti, one of Gilderoy Lockhart's books. Inside here we get the potion print that we saw earlier on in January. I'm kind of confused as to why that's included, because technically that should be another just plain tile piece, but you know, still very nice to get an exclusive print that only came in one other set. We also get 2 of these Cornish pixies included in this set with this translucent blue with a little bit of sparkle in it, which I also really love when LEGO does that. You get the print from the front of the face. They kind of act like the Baby Groot piece that we used to see from LEGO for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where you get those bar pieces used for the hands, and then the one anti-stun from the bottom of the character. Really cool to get these. I would expect these to pop up again come next year. Now, getting right into the main builds included in this set, the very first thing that you build in here is the Basilisk, which I think is a pretty interesting build. It uses quite a few new pieces, or at least new for this year pieces. The one thing that I don't like about this thing, though, is this giant chunk in the middle, because it doesn't really flow with the rest of the thing. I understand why they included this. It had to have something to make sure that it would stand like this. You can see that it stands perfectly like that. If it was just a bunch of these pieces, it would roll around. As you see there, it doesn't really stand up very well. So I understand why this is included, but you know, I just don't like the shaping of it. It's kind of weird having this giant chunk, and also having the darker tan being used here. I don't like that. I understand why we have these teeth pieces to represent the scales, but you know, that's really my only complaint with this thing. One thing that I do like, however, is this new mold for the head. We also have the dragon head bottom being used here as well. You can take a look at the teeth where you get some dual molding, or at least some printing on that, and you get the printing for the eyes on both sides. I really love how the head turned out, and also just like the main body, it looks really nice. Just that one thick part right there, I'm not too much of a fan of. Also from the very back we see this piece, and we also see 2 of these, which we also previously saw in the Raya and the Last Dragon Sisu character. I also like that we have a number of posability options where you can turn the head right there using a pin piece, and you can also turn the body right there. There is a pin going on in there, where we also have an axle on the other end, and we also have the same thing when it comes to the tail, so you can move that, and also you can move this part if you really want to as well. With all the smaller builds out of the way, here is the full Hogwarts castle with the Great Hall and the Chamber of Secrets located underneath. We also have a little bit of the Astronomy Tower and the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom off to the side. So talking about the exterior, big notable thing here is the fact that LEGO has changed the dark gray roofs back to the sand green that we know and love from back in 2001 through 2011. I personally don't care about this. I mean, it doesn't fit in with the stuff that we had before, but hey, we got another Great Hall here that doesn't fit in with what we had before, and also we now have an underground area to Hogwarts, which I'm really interested to see how this works with the other sets in the collection, because I haven't yet built the Fluffy Encounter set, but I will be able to toss in the bathroom in order to work with the Chamber of Secrets slide, so look forward to that a little bit later on in this video, and I will be doing something separate where I just look at everything all together and do comparisons to older sets from 2001 all the way to 2020. So starting at the surface floor, I'm just going to remove this part. We're going to talk about that separately so we can talk about the ground floor area layout. I personally think that they could have extended this out a little bit more than they did because it just doesn't look right just being a solid block wall going on, which I know this is the same thing that a lot of other people have been saying, but that's really my only gripe with this set, that it just feels way too blocky for its own good. I do really like the customability feature, which I'll get into later on, as I said, but out of everything about this set, that is the one thing that I really don't like, just how blocky it feels. And unlike a lot of the other sets that we've had in the past, I do like some of these details right here. This I think is really nice, and also that up there, I think that works very well. It's just, it feels way too blocky. So starting all the way down here with the Great Hall build, we have this little section that you can separate using these clip pieces, and you can drag this right out using a very simple function to reveal this little hidden area with a Basilisk fang. I think that's nice that they include that. If you own any of the other ones from 2018 through 2020, I think that'll work very well for you. You can slide that all the way back in, and it also forms the very front of Slytherin's mouth, and the area where you can have the Basilisk slither through to get through the mouth of Slytherin, which I'll show that later on. We also have some smaller torches just for this underground area, some more of those small ugly rock pieces. We see one more. When it comes to the bottom area over here, which is just another small section of the Chamber of Secrets where we get the slide to actually enter, which works in par with the girls' bathroom that we also see in this wave. Another thing that you can do with this area, which I also appreciate LEGO doing, is the fact that you can actually easily remove this if you want to take a better look at that particular area. I don't know why they make you remove that, but I mean, it's fine. It gives you an extra playability feature. Moving upwards to the actual castle layout right here, we have the very back of the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. One thing I wanted to point out here is that we get a sticker with this Hogwarts crest, which is actually on top of a flesh tone piece, which I'm kind of questioning why they did that. And we also have some more building on the side right there underneath the windows, and we have some very nice arches also utilizing that ice cream cone piece and the actual regular cone piece there. Moving to the front of the Great Hall, we only have 2 stacked up window pieces compared to the 2010 and 2018 versions that each featured a 3 stack tall of windows. One piece that I really like included in this set is this half circle piece being used here just for the extra support. We also have these triangular slopes up at the very top connected via those jumper plates. We have some torches from each side up at the top. And the one thing that I don't really like is the fact that these windows are completely blocked out by the fireplace, which is for some reason again in the very middle of the Great Hall. Now moving up to the very top of the roof pieces, one thing you can notice right off the bat is that we have this new recolor of the drill top piece, which I believe we saw in Lego City at some point, but this is the first time that we're getting it in sand green. I think it looks nice, kind of like a textured cone piece to top off Hogwarts. That is the one piece that we don't yet have in dark gray. We also have some cheese slopes decorating the very top of the plate pieces used for the roofs, which again, if you are trying to change this out to dark gray, I do recommend changing out the plate pieces, but leaving these cheese slopes alone because I think it adds a little bit more detail having the little bit of sand green added on to the dark gray. We also have another window that's slightly blocked off, which I'll show the interior of that one. Quite exciting and very odd and weird. Moving to the other side over here, we have some curved window pieces. I'm not sure if that piece that holds them is new or not. I haven't seen it before in any sets that I've gotten, so I think that's a really cool feature included in this set. We also have a little area where you can stand your characters on this little balcony area, and that leads to the very top tower over here, the Astronomy Tower, where you get some of these bigger sand grain pieces, which again, another really cool thing you can do here is you can just grab the piece and remove it to actually be able to use the telescope and stuff used for the Astronomy Tower. Moving on to one of the smaller pieces included in this set, we have the actual entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. Now my favorite part of this has to be the door. I think they did a very nice job with that, using these snake head pieces that I believe we saw in Lego Ninjago connected via clip piece. We also have these arm pieces, the skeleton arm pieces, being used as the connection to actually close and open the door. I love the tile pieces that make this round entrance into the chamber itself. Another cool detail we have down here, because we're down in the dungeon area, we have these translucent green lights to reflect the lake. We have some more of these Technic pinholes in order to connect it to the rest of the Hogwarts extensions for this wave. From the very back, you can take a look at the back of the build, where we get some owl poop, at least that's what I've heard that being called. And we also have a chocolate frog atop that jumper plate. We have another jumper plate if you want to put something up there. And we also get more of those cone pieces being used in tan. And atop one of them we have a new owl print. I'm pretty sure that's a new print for an owl. Really cool to get it in that dark tan with the printing for the eyes and the beak as well as the belly. As I just said, we get some Technic pinholes and some Technic pins upon each of the sides of these builds in order to connect them into one very blocky layout. So here's a quick look at that. And there you go. That is one giant block of Hogwarts. Personally, I like it better having them angled like this. Probably would remove those Technic pins, which we get 2 more extras of if you want to use them. And I'll probably put the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets actually inside behind with the interior. Looking at the layout of the interior for this set, it is a little lackluster here and there, but I think they did a really nice job with some of the details, especially a lot of the stickers included in here make up for there being not a lot of room. And another thing that I would recommend is plopping this piece right by the slide to create the entrance of the Chamber of Secrets. So starting off with the part that you all probably have been asking to see, it's the Chamber of Secrets itself. So right here we have the head of Salazar Slytherin. As I said before, there is a function from the very back where you can push this part out to create a hole where Slytherin's mouth is, and you can pretend to have the Basilisk slithering out of that hole right there. He does fit in quite nicely. There's a look at him coming out. The head you might want to turn a little bit off to the side, but hey, it looks really nice where you have the snake coming out of Slytherin's mouth. Also above that, we have some new stickers for the eyes on those slope pieces. Really like the tile pieces. These curved macaroni tile pieces are quite nice to get. You get some angling for the hair using those slope pieces. We have some extra details off to the side, which I did also want to plop one of these out, where we have this new recolor of a headpiece from Ninjago, where we have the translucent green and the regular like gray. Really love how that turned out. Really interesting detail to add to the Chamber of Secrets. Moving to the side over here, we can take a better look at the inside of this part, where we have some various bones lying on the ground via clip pieces. We also get the frog piece in a few different colors, white down here, pink up above, and brown all around. Another really cool feature you can do with this part is you can remove the top tower area, which is just loosely connected on top of some studs, and you can plop right on top the Polyjuice Potion Mistake Set. Now with that area plopped on top, you can lift up the clip piece of this sink area using Parcel Tongue, and then you can toss right down Professor Lockhart. Moving up a level and taking a look at the interior of Hogwarts itself, the first interior we have is of the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. Well, actually, Lockhart's Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. You can definitely tell that with all of the portraits of Lockhart that we have in the set, which I also really love. We also have a few references to his books in this set, which again, I'm really happy that LEGO is referencing the books a little bit in this set right here. Like we have that hag from one of his books. I really love that they pictured that character right there in the corner. We also have a little skeleton in the corner. We have this, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Maybe like a small chair for Lockhart or something. I'm not 100% sure. We have some student desks, we have that pink frog that I mentioned before, and from the very back we have a new piece. That being this candelabra, which also has the candle piece and also the little candle flame that we saw back in 2018. Really cool that they made this. I'm also really happy that they're using this piece for Lumiere in Disney, so that's another really cool fact to note. But overall, really cool piece and nice that they include it in this set. Moving up a level and taking a look at the interior up here, we have a little balcony area which has a clip piece connection for this broom. We get another chocolate frog because why not? We have this clip connection with a translucent stick piece, bringing us to one of those superhero pose pieces where you can pretend to have a character flying up above Hogwarts. From this other section over here, you can see that we have Lockhart's office where we have quite a few interesting stickers. One of which is this portrait of Harry and Lockhart. We have another Lockhart picture over here. We have Lockhart doing something over there. And then we have, I don't know if that's supposed to represent Lockhart or just another character from his books. Not 100% sure, but still very nice to see. On his desk, we also have a few of his autographs being signed just for when Harry has detention with him. I think it's really cool that we have that. Only unfortunate thing here is that some of the stickers I got in this set are cut off a little bit. But hey, it's fine for what it is. I might get another one, who knows. And then behind his desk, you get the chair piece in sand blue. And we have an extra wig if you want to change it out. And finally, that brings us to the very top level. And for the top level, as I said before, you can remove this area in order to be able to use the telescope included, which I think is a quite clever build. You use one of those bazooka pieces, and we use two of those fez hat pieces, or well, at least that's what I like to call them, where you top them off with the gem piece in translucent green. We also use one of those tap pieces as an area where you can pretend to have your character look up at the stars, and we also get the clip piece connection so you can move it back and forth, and you can turn it around using the bar piece underneath the bazooka. Another really cool thing that we have over here is another glow in the dark piece. Maybe that's to represent a crystal ball, I'm not 100% sure. We also have this little perch for Hedwig, which uses the same exact print that we've been seeing in the past all the way to 2018. And we get another sticker on this 2x3 tile piece to represent a star chart to use along with the telescope. Also, because I bet many of you are interested, here is a look at how you can disassemble and rearrange the parts included here. You can remove this part, and you can remove this part from the very top, which reveals some more studs just like we see underneath. And you can remove this part, which is also where you can fit the Polyjuice Potion Mistake set if you get that in your collection. Oh yeah, and this top part also separates. Now that we're done with that side of Hogwarts, we move to the interior of the Great Hall. Now, compared to the 2018 version, we only have 2 tables compared to the 4 for all the houses, and we only have 1 banner up at the top, which is to represent the full house unity, where you have Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. Another thing I did want to point out about that flag piece is that it's a black flag piece. I really like that they did something different there that we haven't really seen before within LEGO Harry Potter. Some other differences compared to the 2018 version is that we now have clip pieces on the side and also the back of the Great Hall to hold the candle pieces and also the flame pieces right there that we also saw back in 2018. Zooming into the situation a little bit, we also get some stickers on these wall element pieces for some different cereals, where we have the Cherry Owls and the Pixie Puffs, which I really love that they referenced those cereals because we technically really only saw them within the Half-Blood Prince, so really cool that we saw those. We also have a croissant, some teacups, and 2 more chocolate frogs, and we also have 2 goblets from the back. Another really cool recolor in this set is the open-winged Hedwig piece, but in plain gold, where you can have Dumbledore stand behind it to make his speech in the Great Hall. Really love that they included that reference. And finally, from the very back of the Great Hall, we see these flame pieces right there for the fireplace, and we have one last play feature that I really love. Clearing off the tables, you can plop down Lockhart to supervise the dueling club. We also get this loose snake to represent the snake that Malfoy creates that Harry then speaks Parseltongue to, revealing his giant secret to the wizarding world. Another unfortunate thing about this set is that you don't get Draco Malfoy, though you can get him within both the Advent calendar and the first flying lessons for this year to recreate the battle between them for the dueling club. But one play feature that we have in here, sorry Harry, but we have this area where you can push down to knock Harry off of his feet. Also underneath here you have another area if you want to store something, but it doesn't show anything within the instructions. Moving up from this area, we also get some other smaller details up here, one of which is a new print for this year On this headpiece, we have some potion ingredients or some like leaves going on in there. I'm not 100% sure what that's supposed to be, but it is a reference to something that Snape says in the first potions class. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that's what I got from that printed piece. We also see that appear in quite a few other sets in this wave. We have another small little potion ingredient up there. We have another crystal ball using another glow-in-the-dark headpiece under there. And we also see a small reference to the chess setup here. You get a small little chessboard if you want to plop that down in the Great Hall and have Harry and Ron play wizard chess. Now, some other smaller hidden features include behind the banner, which is connected via clip piece. You can find the sorting hats, which is a really nice new piece that they made back in 2018. But what is it sitting on? It's sitting on the poop piece. Why is it sitting on the poop piece? I have no idea. Why did LEGO do this? I don't know. It's just weird. And we also see that piece appear, I think, twice again in the Chamber of Secrets. So I'm questioning, why did LEGO put that there? I have no idea. Also above that, we see another jumper plate with a chocolate frog. Now, wrapping things up as I did with the other section of Hogwarts, I'm just going to dismantle this so you can see how it all comes apart. The roof comes apart in 3 pieces. You get this one, and you get the one in the middle, and then you get the one off to the side. And then finally, we have the main section of the Great Hall, which is a little hard to get off, but then you get it off and it all works out fine. One thing I did want to note is that this very front part of the Great Hall does end up staying atop the Chamber of Secrets, which is my really only complaint here, because I would have liked to see the Great Hall just be one piece instead of this just being left over once you remove it from the Chamber of Secrets, but that's nothing a little modification can't fix. So overall, for $130, is this set worth it? I mean, for the minifigures, I think it is probably the best minifigure selection out of all of the sets releasing this summer. All of the figures in somewhat shape or form are exclusive to this set, even though they have appeared in other sets along the line. Probably the best inclusion in the set has to be the Chamber of Secrets, and the reason why probably anyone would buy this set. You get the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, you get the slide that you can connect to the Polyjuice Potion Mistake set, and you get the head of Salazar Slytherin, where you can have the Basilisk slither out, and you even get lots of victims for the Basilisk in this set. You get Colin Creevey, you get Nearly Headless Nick, and you even get Justin Finch-Fletchley. As for the builds above the Chamber of Secrets, I think the Great Hall is an interesting inclusion. I certainly love a lot of the new stickered pieces in this set, and a lot of the prints are also quite interesting to get. Lockhart's classroom is a really great inclusion, as well as his office. You can recreate so many amazing scenes with that. The astronomy tower we got last year in 2020 from LEGO, so I don't know why they included it up here, but that is easily remedied with our first appearance of Professor Sinistra, a character from the books even, that I'm really happy LEGO decided to plop in this set. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this set. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!